Hi guys, this is another video that I'm doing for Cody's channel. It's a follow-up video from my videos about leaving prison and my experiences of a approved premises stroke hostel. This video is going to be about my experiences with the probation service within the jails and when I've left jail. So my first involvement with the probation service was when I arrived at Risley after being transferred from Strangeways. My probation officer came into Risley prison and she interviewed me for approximately around an hour or so, and she was completing something called an OASIS report. Now, an OASIS report is something that the probation have to do to determine your sentence plan, which is a plan in which they want you to complete whilst you're in prison to try and better yourself, etc. And what they do is they interview you about your past offending, any mental health issues that you suffer, any drug or alcohol issues, and basically the reasons why you offended. Once that interview is completed, you then should receive a sentence plan within a short period of time. So it kind of gives you an idea of your goals whilst you're in prison and what you're going to be working towards, etc. Now, for me, after my OASIS scores were done, it took me a year to receive my sentence plan. In between that, I was constantly contacting the probation within the jails, because they have probation within the jails as well, and I was, trying to speak to them to find out what my sentence plan was, etc. I was constantly on the phone, ringing my outside probation officer, asking why I hadn't received my sentence plan, and every time I was kind of fobbed off. So I, just started doing things for myself. Eventually, like I say, after a year, I did get my sentence plan, and basically it was just, behave yourself, seek employment, stuff like that. And on mine, it was to attend alcohol courses. So that was after a year of me being in prison. And then after that, I didn't really have very much contact with my probation throughout my sentence, up until the last week of my sentence. During the last week, that was, I don't know if you recall me saying that's when I had a telephone conference with them, and they kind of give me my license conditions then. If you can remember in my previous videos, they did give me some very harsh license conditions. Again, like I've said in my previous videos, I'm not trying to make out that I don't deserve to be punished for my offence, because I do, and I'm not trying to kind of say that I feel like a victim or anything due to what the prisons and what probation do to you, because I don't. I do feel that I needed to be punished, and I did need to be punished. And I still do, because I'm still on licence. So as soon as I got my licence conditions, they told me, you have to go into the hostel as stated in my previous videos, etc. I'm not allowed to reside anywhere without the permission of probation. I can't travel, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do the other. I have to refrain from drinking alcohol. I have to be breathalyzed when I'm at the hostel, whenever I leave, etc. And then when I left, I had appointments with my probation officer. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first come out of prison, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't have a clue, the procedures of probation, how you speak to probation, how you act with probation. It was all new to me. I'm a first time offender, and I was in prison for the first time, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. So my back was up when I came out of prison. I felt like that during the last bit of my sentence, when they give me those license conditions, I felt like they pulled the rug from underneath me. Um, in my mind, I felt like they were setting me up to fail, and that's how I saw it. I saw it like that. They're not kind of understanding the hell, and it was hell. I'm not going to lie about that either. It was hell. Prison broke me. Um, it did. And I will do another video. I'll do a video about that and my experiences in prison, and how I handled things and certain situations that occurred. But when I came out and I was given my license conditions by probation, I felt like that, they'd taken everything away from me that I was so looking forward to be doing once I came out of prison. Now, it made me slightly bitter, and I think that came across in my interviews with probation. I was constantly being told that I'm defensive. Um, I was being told that I didn't have the right attitude. Personally, I felt that I did. I wanted to rehabilitate. I didn't want to reoffend. I most certainly didn't want to give, the powers that be any sort of reason to think that I'm not sorry for my offence, because I am sorry for my offence and I'll always be sorry for my offence. However, they seem to pick up on the fact that I seem to have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder due to the fact that they'd taken away my hope, and that's how I saw it. It felt like that they'd taken away everything that I was working towards whilst I was in prison, and maybe I was a little bit kind of deluded whilst I was in jail, thinking that when I get out of prison, everything will be okay and I've served my sentence. I didn't actually realise how strict they are with you when you come out of prison. But you live and learn, and like I say, I'm new to this. I'm new to the prison thing, and I won't be doing it again. Well, God, to hope to God that I don't ever reoffend, and I don't think I will. But they thought that I was being arrogant and things like that, and I wasn't. I was just it just kind of it took the rug from underneath me. I think I mentioned in past videos that they told me that I couldn't see my kids, and that to me was, and still is, and I'm sure it would be to many of you out there. It was heartbreaking. There's nothing worse than being told that you can't see your kids. So I did feel bad. I did feel defensive. I did, because I didn't have any inkling whatsoever that was going to happen. I then started to kind of realise that I couldn't have this attitude towards probation, because I felt that if I did, it would go against me. So I'm still on licence, hence why my face is blurred at the minute, because I'm in fear of breaching anything. I'm in fear of doing anything wrong, because I don't want to go back to prison. The probation, you can take probation one of two ways. You can go in there and be all arrogant and cocky and not work with them at all, and I find that if you were to do that, personally, I think that they would have you back in prison sooner than you can say eggs are eggs. I quickly learned that you can't have that type of attitude towards probation. I then started to kind of try to keep positive. I do unfortunately suffer from mental health issues, which I'm doing my best to keep on top of. I've got a lot of support around me to help me with that. Mental health teams, doctors, friends and family. So I'm very lucky. Probation at first, they didn't recognise the fact that I had and that I have quite a serious mental health problem. It wasn't until further down the line when they started speaking to my mental health teams, things like that, that they seemed to kind of change the way they were with me. Now, I started to then think to myself, I need to be a lot more positive with what I've got. Now, I looked at it as they will not stop me forever seeing my kids. I looked at it as they will not stop me forever doing what I want to do and progress myself in life. And I started to work with them. Now, a lot of people do not like probation. A lot of people slag them off and say that they are horrible, they'll do this to you, they'll do that. Again, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience during these videos, and I found that once I kind of opened up to them, once I kind of dropped this attitude of you've kind of done wrong to me because you've taken away my hopes, they seemed to help me out a lot more. Once, like I said, they got in touch with my mental health teams, and my mental health teams kind of explained in depth to them, you know, the mental illness that I have diagnosed. They started to be really, really accommodating. They helped me out a hell of a lot. Now, from my transition from the hostel, like I say, and I've said it in the hostel video, they helped me gain a house, a flat that I'm living in at the moment. They've worked very strongly with me in relation to me having access to my kids. They are very kind of understanding, and they are very, you know, approachable now, and they do help me out a lot. And I think that's the way that I am with them. I think because I am trying to work with them, and they can see that I am trying to do my best to better myself, to keep on the right track, then it goes down well with them. Like I say, and I've said it before, that's my experience with probation. I'm still on probation, as I've said, so it's early days at the moment. I've only been out of prison 8 months. I've got a bit left to serve on my license. But so far so good. They're doing right by me. And I respect that. I respect the fact that they're doing that for me. Which gives me hope. It gives me hope for the future. It gives me strength to know that, you know, there's actually people behind me. And sometimes in life, that's all people need. Sometimes that's all people need. They need to know that there's somebody there. And it doesn't matter who it is. It can be probation. It can be mental health teams. It can be a neighbour. It can be your family. It can be anybody. Somebody who kind of says to you, look, you're going to be all right. And as soon as you hear that, I'm sorry, you can see the future. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So for my experience with probation, and for my advice to people who are going through what I'm going through at the moment with probation, be strong. Don't lie to them. Don't lie at all. Tell them everything. Everything in relation, if you're being law abiding, be honest with them. Tell them how you feel. Tell them, if anything happens, be up front with them. Don't let anybody else go to them and tell them anything. And it'll work out. It'll work out right for you. It will. And one day, I know that all this is going to be over. It will. It'll all be over. And when it is all over, I promise you that I will come back onto Cody's channel, and my face won't be blurred, and you will see me with a big smile on my face, and I will tell you I've done it. And that'll be one of the proudest days of my life, because that will be the end of the hell that I have gone through and still going through at the moment, which I deserve to be going through, by the way, because of my offence. But it will be the end of it, and I cannot wait till that day. So again, as I end all my videos, I'd like to thank Cody for allowing me to share my experiences on his channel. He does an absolutely fantastic job giving prisoners and ex-prisoners a voice, and to express how they feel on his channel. So you guys take care of yourself, and hopefully I will make another video for Cody's channel in relation to my experiences when I was first sentenced and my experience through prison, because I do have a hell of a lot to say. So thank you very much. You all take care of yourselves, and hopefully I will put another video on Cody's channel soon. Take care. Bye bye.